Good morning, church. It's great to have you here, and we welcome you as you join us here at New Beginnings Church. Great to worship with you, and I think it's especially important as we think about today and it being Palm Sunday. We think of Holy Week and all that's involved there. I think it's super important that we celebrate together during this time. So many people feel isolated or separated right now. We feel like, hey, we're not really having our normal traditions at this time. I know everybody's wondering, what's Easter going to be like? What's my Holy Week experience? Family, friends, my church, all these types of things. But I think it's really important to look at it a different way, in a little different light, and say, now more than ever, I need to be reminded of these things. So maybe you don't have a physical palm with you today, but you can remember what Christ has done and what is essentially happening in our lives. Today's a day of celebration. Today's a day for rejoicing. Today's a day where we celebrate the coming King, and we remind that in our lives every day. We have the connection with the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the God over all of creation and over all this earth, and we get to celebrate that each and every day. Just to highlight a little bit, we will be taking communion today, so I hope you have your elements ready for later on in the service. If not, get some and make sure you're ready, because we're going to all take communion together today. On Thursday evening, I will go live. It's my normal night to do something live from the church, but I'll be sharing with you. We won't do a full Monday, Thursday service, but as Christ celebrated Passover and instituted communion with his disciples, we'll be celebrating communion together as a church on Thursday night. So I hope you tune in to Facebook Live. You join us on Thursday at 5:15, and we will celebrate together. On Friday, we will have a Good Friday service where I'll be sharing some thoughts and devotions with you around Good Friday and its meaning. And then obviously we'll celebrate together on Easter morning. And that's our launch date. We've been praying for this for a long time, 4/12. And I hope this week that you'll take a special time to invite someone else to join you online, to join us as the church as we worship. Go through your Facebook contacts and invite people there. Direct people to the website. There have been Facebook ads for our church. Go through your email lists and invite people to come. I've heard countless stories this week of people who've had the opportunity to invite others, and so church can still be a place where we can invite others to celebrate the miracle of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and in turn our resurrection from sin to life, and we can have a new beginning, a fresh start. So hope you're excited to be with us today as we worship, as we celebrate. It's Palm Sunday. The King is coming, and we get to rejoice in who he is and his presence in our lives. So glad you're here. Let's pray together before we start and just get our hearts and minds set. God, we just give you thanks for this day. We're excited to worship you, to know you, to celebrate you, to just know who you are in our lives, to see the things you've done. And as the crowds on that Palm Sunday, they celebrated who Jesus was. They thought of the people he'd healed, the lives he had touched, the teachings he had done. And God, today we are thankful for the ways you have changed us, the ways you have spoken to us, how you've interacted in our lives and made us into different people. God, we are in your debt. We are grateful. We can never repay you for what you've done. And so we celebrate you, we acknowledge you, and we give ourselves to you as we worship you and come close to you during this time. In your name, amen.
Would you worship with us this morning?
Of our God and King, lift up your voice to him and sing. Oh, praise him, oh, praise him. Let all things their Creator bless, and worship praise the Lord. Oh, praise Him. Oh, praise Him. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh, glory to our God and King. Every crown thrown down in offering, every knee shall bow, and voice proclaim, you are God, you are King. All glory to our God and King. Every crown thrown down in offering, every knee shall bow, and voice proclaim, you are God, you are King. Oh, praise Him. 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 All glory to our God and King. Every crown thrown down in offering, every knee shall bow, and voice proclaim, you are God, you are King. All glory to our God and King. Every crown thrown down in offering, every knee shall bow, and voice proclaim, you are God, you are King. Oh, praise Him. 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 washing over all our sins. The people sing, the people sing. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. I see a generation rising up to take their place with selfless faith, selfless faith. I see a new revival stirring as we pray and seek. We're on our knees. We're on our knees. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the Fill my heart and make it clean. Open up my eyes to the things unseen. Show me how to love like you have loved me. Break my heart for what breaks yours. Everything I am for your kingdom's cause. As I walk from earth into eternity. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest.
So during this next song, we are going to be, it would normally be our offering time here in the church, but we are going to be taking offering virtually today. So I just want to remind you guys of the options that we have for that. We have online giving, and the link for that is in the description of the live stream today, or you can go on our website. And also a reminder to fill out the connection card, which is also in the description of the live stream. And it's also under the connect button on our page if you want to go there and do that as well. So just remember that we have that online. We also have text to give, and those instructions are on our website and on our Facebook page. And then you guys can also just send in money if you have one of those envelopes that we give out during church when we're in the building. So yeah.
You are good when there's nothing good in me. You are love, on display for all to see. You are light when the darkness closes in. You are hope, you have covered all my sin. You are peace when my fear is crippling. You are true, even in my wandering. You are joy, you're the reason that I sing. You are life, in you death has lost its sting. And oh, I'm running to your arms. The riches of your love will always be enough. Nothing compares to your embrace. Light of the world, forever reign. You are more than my words will ever say. You are Lord, all creation will proclaim. You are here, in your presence I'm made whole. You are God, of all else I'm letting go. And oh, I'm running to your arms. The riches of your love will always be enough. Nothing compares to your embrace. Light of the world, forever reign. I'm running to your arms. The riches of your love will always be enough. Nothing compares to your embrace. Light of the world, forever reign. My heart will sing no other name. Jesus, my heart will sing no other name. Jesus, my heart will sing no other name. Jesus, my heart will sing no other name.
right, church, it's good to have you here. If you want to follow along in your notes, make sure that you can access that off the webpage if you want to pick those up. But today, we're going to talk about the parade. And parades have always been used as acts of celebration and of great achievement and times that we recognize those and celebrate those. And I know that seems weird in a time where now everything's been put on hold. People are longing to know, hey, when can we get back? When can we enjoy life again? When can we get back to normalcy? Will we ever want to be around people again and those types of things? Yes, we will at some point, but we're also reminded during this time that what we're experiencing now isn't what defines us, but instead what defines us is something far different. And so I was thinking about this, and I grew up in a town called Troy, Ohio, and it was known for its Strawberry Festival parade, and that's a big deal, and it's televised on TV and all this stuff and what's going on there. And I lived in Canton, Ohio. There we have the Pro Football Hall of Fame, so a very different type of parade and what that was all about for that community. I lived in a place called Shelby, Ohio, that's north of Mansfield, and they had a factory there that made bicycles, and they had the Shelby Bicycle Days, and that was a big deal for that community. And obviously here in Delaware, we are known for the horse parade that we have and everything about the Brown Jug and our community and those kinds of things. So all different cultures have different kinds of things, and in Jesus' day, in his time and era, there were also things that took place. And normally the Roman Empire would have a huge parade anytime they conquered someone. And all right, so welcome. Sorry about that. We had technical difficulties, and the mic went down. So we are back. All right, so it's good. As I was talking about, we're going to celebrate with this idea of the parade today, and that these kinds of things are celebrated in all different types of communities, and I've lived in all types of communities where these have been celebrated, and so we want to be able to celebrate them as well. And this day celebrates the spontaneous rejoicing of people to what God is doing in and through our lives. And what's amazing about this is that this parade, this celebration, this cry of victory, this spontaneous celebration where people threw their garments down in the road and waved palm branches of victory and shouted Hosanna to the King of Kings really happened and began 500 years earlier with a prophecy from the prophet Zechariah. Listen to what it says and get a little understanding of what will take place. It says, "Rejoice, O people of Zion. Shout in triumph, O people of Jerusalem. Look, your king is coming to you. He is righteous, he is victorious, and yet he is humble, riding on a donkey's colt." And so Zechariah was saying, hey, this time's going to come, and there's going to come a coming king, and that king, when he arrives, he's going to be victorious. He's the one who you're going to celebrate. He's the one that is going to set things right for God's people. And so people anticipated this, and they were looking for this, and they were longing for this. And in Jesus' day, when Jesus came into Jerusalem, as we celebrate on Palm Sunday, they saw this as a fulfillment of this prophecy. It's this idea that they were celebrating that the king is coming, not just any king, the son of the king. Now, so here's something you need to understand about Israel during that time. Many groups, their kings would ride on chariots or ride on horses, and it was a symbol of strength and power, majestic creatures. In Israel, they did something different. In Israel, even though the king might have a horse or the king might do something, the king and the king's sons especially would always ride on a donkey. They would ride on donkeys, and then they would be a symbol of being a judge and someone who brought compassion and justice to people. And so when Jesus gets on this donkey and he rides into Jerusalem, it's a symbol that not just any king's coming, the Son of the King is coming. And he's riding into town to bring justice. He's riding into town to bring compassion and mercy. He's coming to bring salvation to his people. And so people start to respond. They start to rejoice. They start to shout. They start to celebrate that their king is coming and that he's going to be there with them. And no more is there going to be the difficulties and the trials and the things that they're going through. And so we're reminded as well that we need to rejoice in this time in our lives, where no matter where it seems like everything's gone haywire, nothing in life seems like it's working out, when we have people who are facing illness and sickness unlike anything before, and we are personally challenged, we are reminded to see Christ coming into our lives as the one who is victorious. Victorious over our circumstances, victorious over what we're facing in life, victorious because we embrace him for who he is in our lives. And so now more than ever, we celebrate that God comes to us. And I invite you this week to celebrate ways that God is working in and through your life. Celebrate ways that you can still connect with God. Celebrate ways that you know God is alive and well and working in your life. So whether that's doing an act of kindness or showing compassion or celebrating or reaching out and making contact with someone else, take time to do those things, because it's an extension of saying God does this in my life as well. And so because this is all going on, we have the opportunity to celebrate together God's work in our life. And really today, that's what I wanted to talk to you about with the whole idea of the parade, is how do we celebrate the coming King? Because we live in a time where we don't have to look for the physical Jesus to come into Jerusalem. We're waiting for the time when Christ is going to come back into this world, when the King is going to return, and our lives are going to be given to him. Our lives are going to be yielded to him and his reign for each and every one of us. And so we're reminded that we give ourselves to Christ, and we anticipate how do we celebrate the coming of the King in our lives. So let's take a look at what that looks like and the principles that are behind that are important to us. And this all comes out of Matthew chapter 21. That's the passage we're going to look at today, which on this Palm Sunday talks about Christ entering into Jerusalem. So the first point is this: it is a parade of purpose. Why does Jesus come into Jerusalem, and what's the point? It's a parade that has purpose. It's a parade with a particular point and with an idea behind it. And so Jesus comes with a purpose, with an intent, as he's riding into Jerusalem. Matthew says this: this took place to fulfill the prophecy that said, "Tell the people of Jerusalem, look, your king is coming to you. He is humble, riding on a donkey, riding on a donkey's colt." And you just heard that prophecy was from Zechariah in 9:9. And so people were anticipating this moment. And Jesus came and he knew what he was doing. He came with a purpose in that moment. And so you and I can celebrate what Christ is doing in his humble entrance and celebration in preparation of a triumphal exit. See, Jesus came into the town and everybody was there, and they're like, this is going to fulfill Zechariah, or I've heard this prophecy, or I've heard this story. And they took it and they celebrated the moment. But Jesus really is coming to celebrate something far greater. Jesus comes into Jerusalem in this moment with what? In preparation for something far different. People are there. They are expecting a joyful celebration, and it should be. Today's the day where we should celebrate. Today's the day where we should always give thanks, and we're reminded to give thanks to God in all circumstances, in all situations. So we should celebrate. But it's interesting. Jesus comes in, and he's riding on a donkey, and people are like, he's the king. And Jesus rides in on the donkey saying, I'm bringing justice and compassion. See, people are focused on his triumphal entry, and Jesus is focused on his triumphal exit. We often get celebrated about the circumstances of our lives rather than the true nature of our lives. Jesus came in not listening to the crowd's chants, but understanding what he would fulfill for God's triumph and victory. That he would pay for sin, and that our lives would be forever changed. Jesus knows exactly what he's doing in this parade. He knows he's coming in and he's fulfilling the prophecy of Zechariah, but he's not doing it so that they can throw off the Romans. He's not doing it so that they can have their lives just somehow better. He's not just doing it so that they can have a moment of celebration or a religious experience. Jesus does it so that you can triumphantly live through the most difficult times, so you can triumphantly live through the sorrow and grief of death, so that you can triumphantly live when life doesn't make sense, that you can triumphantly live when everything is on the line. Jesus rides in on a donkey so that people would see something's coming greater than just a king. Their salvation has arrived. You know, the purpose of the parade is intentional, so that you and I can live lives and we can live by the Father's will and we can have victory in us. We can have a parade in our lives. Jesus' entrance and his teaching and his betrayal and his crucifixion and his resurrection, all this points to something where we can celebrate, hold on to, and know the truth in our lives. Today is a day of purpose. A parade of purpose when Jesus came into Jerusalem. The second thing I think we can learn about this parade where Jesus comes into Jerusalem, it's a parade of peace. It's a parade of peace, which is really important. The two disciples did as Jesus commanded, and they brought a donkey and the colt to him, and they threw their garments over the colt, and he sat on it. And most of the crowd spread their garments on the road ahead of him, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them out on the road. And this is when people began to spontaneously celebrate. When Jesus got on the donkey and they said, "The Son of the King is coming. We're here to celebrate him." And what's going on? Jesus starts pointing to something far greater than just that moment. See, Jesus enters the city as the symbol of peace on that donkey, and a symbol of victory as the victor. And I think most people just assumed it was going to be, he's going to be the victor over the Romans, but not really the victor over our lives. See, something far greater was conquered as Jesus began to ride in on the donkey. As people began to wave the palms, Jesus understood when no one else did, I'm coming to give you victory over you. You know, I think a lot of times as we're going through this, I hear people saying the hardest thing is I don't know what to do. I don't know how to sit at home. I don't know how just to be. Friends, the greatest challenge isn't your circumstances. The greatest challenge has always been what's inside of us. And I think one of the things we so desperately need is you need to have peace with you. When Jesus came into a town, Jerusalem was electric when Jesus came in. They'd known about his miracles. They had seen the healings. They had heard the teachings. And people were expecting something great to happen. And you should expect God to do something great in your life, but it's not with your circumstances most of the time. It's with your heart. It's you having victory over the stuff that plagues you. It's the stuff that you don't want to be quiet with. It's the stuff that you don't want to sit at home with. And I think one of the things that this time has reminded us is, how do we have solitude and be at peace? How do we have time away but really relax? Am I really at a place where I'm good with God and I know that I can simply rest in who he is? We so often just keep ourselves busy with activity, and people are throwing their garments in the road, and Jesus sees it and he appreciates it, but he also sees beyond it. He sees through it, and he understands he's coming not just so they can be excited. Today, be excited, but be excited because God gives you peace. Be excited because God is greater than what's inside you. Be greater because God destroys, absolutely crushes sin and makes your life better. Be absolutely convinced that he comes and he rules and reigns in your life. Focus on Jesus being your victor and the calm that comes from living in that reality. Living in your Father's purpose. Living for the point of what God wants to do through your life. Living in such a way that God works in and through you. You can have calm in the midst of the celebration. You know, it's interesting because the one passage says, you know, that people tried to rebuke Jesus and his disciples and said, you know, tell them to quit saying that. And he says, I tell you the truth, if they're quiet, the stones will cry out. Everything about this moment was going to celebrate the victory of God. And that was shared outwardly because there was peace inwardly. And Jesus wouldn't allow this moment to be taken away from the disciple and the people. Let me tell you this pandemic does not need to take the peace and the assurance of God away from anyone. There is nothing in life that should take away what you know to be true and to be faithful in your lives. This is why Paul could so strongly write, there is nothing that will separate us from the love of God, not height, nor depth, not anything created. There's nothing you'll experience that will take you away. There's no power. There's no spiritual power. There's no angel. There's no demon. There's nothing that can separate you from the love of God. There won't be any disease. There won't be any circumstance. There won't be any time of life that you need to feel that you are separated. Today, can you shout Hosanna? Today, can you say that God is my victor? Today, can you say God saves? I think we often are like, I'm sitting at home, I'm watching you, Pastor Dave, I'm just hanging out. There's no reason for me to be excited or dressed up or wave my palm front. There is every reason to celebrate. There is every reason to be at peace. The parade meant everything. Because Jesus came for a purpose, and he came to bring us peace in our lives. Here's the next and last thing. The final thing is that we have a parade of praise. There's a parade of worship and response. See, praise just isn't me shouting out accolades. That's what the Romans did. But praise was really this idea of entering into worship and seeing God for who he is and experience who I am and knowing that we can be connected, knowing that the God of the universe sees us and that we matter. It's so important that we experience that. You know, the Father's purpose is to come in and to accomplish what he wanted. The peace of God is then to fill the people's hearts and lives. And the response of that is for us to then, again, enter into this place of connection and praise where we celebrate who God is in our lives. Matthew says it this way, most of the crowd spread their garments on the road ahead of him, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them out on the road. And Jesus was in the center of the procession. You know, and this is the way our lives are. God is in the center, and everything else revolves around God. And we live in that security. We live in that place. Jesus was in the center of the procession, and the people all around him were shouting, praise God for the Son of David. Blessings on the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Praise God in the highest. If God's in the center, then everything else around our lives begins to praise and celebrate him and lift him up and be connected to him. And that's the intention of how we're supposed to live. As Jesus entered the city, this parade of praise began to be offered by people. And they took whatever they had. If they had garments, they threw them down. If they had palm fronds, they waved them. They began to celebrate. with everything, with shouts of praise. And this response of joy and celebration is to be our response to God's activity in our lives. And during this time, we get to celebrate together what God is doing. And I think during this time where we're isolated or social distancing, we're reminded that God is always working in our lives. We're reminded that God is up to something and that we have to actually look for it and seek it and be connected to God. And then our response is to offer praise. Today, can you say, God has saved me? Today, do you say, God is the God who is my King, and I look to him? Today is the day that you say, and can you say that God is the one who I look to for salvation and hope and victory in our lives? See, those people that day said in that moment, they said, God is going to show up and do something, and I am expecting and looking and longing for what God wants to do. I feel like people right now just keep saying, I can't wait for life to get back to normal. Well, what is normal? I think what's normal for the Christian is when we say that, I understand we want to get back to our activities. But I don't know if it'll all go back to normal. I don't know if we're always going to work the way we worked before. I don't know if we're going to go shop for groceries the way we shopped for groceries before. I don't know if we're going to go to parks and interact the way we act before. I don't know if people might not wear masks when they go around, just to be careful. Life may look different. So when we say get back to normal, I know what we mean. I want a sense of routine. I want a sense of normalcy. But for the Christian, the sense of normalcy is in a world that constantly changes, in a world that I don't have control, in a world where I don't know what can happen next. I need assurance and hope, and I find it in Christ. I find it in the living God. I find it in the one who offers me hope. And so when Jesus enters Jerusalem, there was a parade. There was a parade for him. But it was more than that. Jesus came for a purpose, and there was a parade for his Father's will to be accomplished. Jesus came, and there was a parade. There was a parade of peace that was inside him and passed to the people who would follow him, that they could live life differently. And there was a parade of praise. There were shouts of joy in people's souls and in their lips and on their tongues for the King and the Savior, Jesus Christ. And you and I live in a day and a time where it's more important now than ever to make sure you celebrate who God is in your life. That you celebrate and those kinds of things. I think it's interesting that people go out and they use sidewalk chalk and just write things down, right? And they put things wherever just to bring encouragement and hope. And I saw some girls yesterday as I was out, and they made all different colored hearts in every single block of concrete where the concrete cuts were, all the way down their sidewalk. And someone was talking to me, and they said, Pastor Dave, could we come by the church and pick up palm fronds so we could celebrate Palm Sunday? And that was a tremendous idea. The problem is there are no palms. Because most florists didn't order them because churches aren't meeting, or they're meeting virtually, I should say. We didn't have them. We got a few little small palms that are here. But the thing is, and the great part is this person said, well, maybe I'll get out some green tissue paper and I'll cut my own palm and I'll put it up above my door. And I was like, that's cool. Because really what this all about, this parade, isn't were you there? That's what happens when sports teams have the ticker tape parade. And they say, were you there? Were you there? Did you see the team? So the real parade that we talk about with Jesus isn't whether we were there. It's whether we respond. The real parade is whether or not I praise God and celebrate who he is in my life. And you can do that. You can go out and take your sidewalk chalk and you can make a green palm on your sidewalk. and people will know it's Palm Sunday and remember. The point is, what do you remember today? And in that parade, there was purpose, and there was peace, and there was praise. And you're invited to give God that. No matter where you are, no matter what day it is, no matter what your circumstances are, and no matter what you're facing. And Lord, we just come to you and we confess we need you now more than ever. We need you in our lives, and we need everything that's going on of what takes place. And as we're about to have communion here, we just want to set our hearts right first. We're told that every time we come to the communion table, we need to remember what it is that you've done for us and what work you have accomplished in our lives. And don't do it in an unprepared way. So we prepare ourselves and we say, God, we see there was so much more to the parade, so much more to your triumphal entry, and we want to give ourselves to you today. And so we're reminded to celebrate you, to know you, and to experience you. God, we want to have purpose and peace and praise in connection with you. In your name, amen. So if you're at home with us and we're going to do communion, and so we invite you to get your elements. I remind you that we in the United Methodist Church always have an open communion table. Everybody's invited to come if you would seek after Christ, and that we would share these moments together. You know, this was a really important time in the life of Jewish history. It was the Passover where they celebrated that God had brought his people out of slavery and bondage in Egypt, and he had done miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle, and he said one final miracle is going to happen, and he said, get ready, because when this miracle happens, you're going to have to be ready to move. And so they got together and they were having a final meal, and they had lamb and they baked bread that didn't have leaven because they didn't have time for it to rise, and they were supposed to use those to feed themselves before their journey. And God did provide, and God did conquer, and God did lead them, and they celebrated. Jesus met in an upper room with his disciples, and that's what we celebrate at this time of year on Thursday when we do communion on Monday, Thursday. But Jesus met with them, and he said, I'm going to tell you that this is going to mean something new. And he took bread, and he gave thanks to God, and he broke it, and he said, this now means something else. It's not just the bread that got you out of bondage. It made you a nation. This is my body, which is broken for you. I want you to eat it, and I want you to remember me every time you do it. And so in this place where we virtually take communion, I want you to remember Christ, and that this is his body which is broken for you. And every time you eat, and every time you take a piece, and every time you consume it, this becomes Christ to you. Remember what he's done. Take this and eat it, and remember Christ. That same night, they took a cup. Jesus took it, and he talked about its significance, and then he said, I want to share this with all of you. He said, this means something new. This is my blood, which is shed for you for the forgiveness of sins. See, the lamb's blood was shed at the Passover, and it marked them that they would be spared. But now Jesus' blood marks us so that we're forgiven. We're made new. We have a fresh start. We have a new beginning. So Jesus took the cup and he invited his disciples, I want you to all drink from it. For this is my blood which is shed for you for the forgiveness of sins. So today take this and drink it, and remember that you are cleansed, you are forgiven in the name of Jesus Christ. God, we're grateful that as we celebrate today, remember Palm Sunday, that we also remember that you are the one who's offered yourself. Thank you that in the parade, no one got left behind. Not everyone was there that day. Not everybody could be there that day. But when you came in and everybody was rejoicing and everybody was shouting and everybody was waving palm branches and throwing garments in the road, it wasn't just for the participants. Everybody's in the parade. Nobody gets left behind. And so, God, in this place and on this day and with all that's going on in our world, we thank you that there's a place for us. We thank you that you are our King. And we thank you that we're on this journey with you. And so we celebrate you. In the name of Christ, amen.
Are you hurting and broken within? Overwhelmed by the weight of your sin? Jesus is calling. Have you come to the end of yourself? Do you thirst for a drink from the well? Jesus is calling. Oh, come to the altar. The Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Leave behind your regrets and mistakes. Come today, there's no reason to wait. Jesus is calling. Bring your sorrows and trade them for joy. From the ashes a new life is born. Jesus is calling. Oh, come to the altar. The Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Oh, come to the altar. The Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. What a Savior! Isn't he wonderful? Sing hallelujah. Christ is risen. Bow down before him, for he is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah. Christ is risen. Oh, what a Savior! Isn't he wonderful? before him, for he is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Oh, come to the altar, the Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Oh, come to the altar, the Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Bear your cross as you wait for the crown. Tell the world of the treasure you found.
God, we just celebrate today that we can tell the treasure we found. That we can celebrate along the side of the road and jump into the parade. That we can live life today as a celebration. So, God, I just pray for us as a church that we celebrate who you are today. We don't just live our life or stay at home or just go, well, I can't do anything, so here's what I do. Today's the day we live with the living God. Today's the day he busts into our lives. Today's the day that God is on the throne. Today's the day that we worship and celebrate and connect with you. Today's the day because it's Palm Sunday. And we know that there is no one like you, God. And so we respond, we rejoice, we celebrate, and we give ourselves to you. This is going to be an awesome Holy Week. And God, we're so thankful that we started with celebrating who you are in our lives. Thanks, church, for joining us today. Thanks for being part of this. Walk with us through this Holy Week, and we go to Easter to celebrate the risen King. Great to have you here. Have an outstanding week, and we can't wait to be with you again. God bless.